2, 1.
Mike O'Mara, Radio Entertainment.
Before we begin, don't forget your free 30-day trial of eVoice. eVoice gives you a toll-free or local number so you can take business calls from anywhere and always sound like you're at the office. Also, eVoice has great features like dial-by-name directory and even transcribes your voicemails so you can read them at your convenience. Go to MikeO'MaraShow.com and click on the eVoice banner for your 30-day free trial. That's our website, MikeO'MaraShow.com, for your free 30-day trial when you click on the eVoice banner.
Available on demand every day in iTunes and the Google Play Store and around the world on MikeO'MaraShow.com. What more can we do for you? It's the Mike O'Mara Show.
Well, look who's back and lived to tell about it.
Salutations.
We are without Mike O'Mara today. He will be back tomorrow. He is at a funeral for a friend today, and we send our love to them
absolutely.
and all involved. But Oscar, welcome home from
Thank you.
New York City.
New York City.
We will get into it.
Get a rope.
Because the problem is we realized yesterday during the show, none of us realized why you were gone.
You know, none of you asked.
We really need to look into, like the human resources aspect of our small, thriving business.
Well, actually, I think I would be human resources.
Yeah, and therefore you're able to sort of duck all responsibility.
Nobody asked a single question.
That's right. But before that, we talked yesterday, and I know you heard a portion of yesterday's show. Thank you, Tony Perkins, for sitting in.
Yeah, thank you so much, Tony.
We talked about the death of Facebook and the fact that I complained. I said that it's been weeks since I've seen anything on Facebook that has truly entertained me. And so I did a little research and went to the Huffington Post website and found the 9 most obnoxious things people post on Facebook on a regular basis. And I want to see who among us is guilty of these. And Pony, I know, actually did his last Facebook post in 2007. So we're looking forward to finding out. Number 1 is this is common. You see this a lot. They call it the "I'm living the life" brag.
Oh, I think I've actually done this.
Example, guess who just got promoted? Or off to Hawaii.
No. I do the bit where it's me, I check in at an airport, and then I have people wait to see where I'm going.
Oh, that's veiled.
Yeah, that's veiled.
That's veiled.
But that is that.
But you know, when you
I'm traveling.
When you do Vegas and when you've gone, was it the Bahamas you went?
Yes.
Yeah, you did a little bit of that.
Yeah, but you know what's strange?
The picture of the feet at the pool is the one that makes me the most mad.
That is, I think I've done that.
I've seen you do.
But I'll say, what are you supposed to do? You're living your life.
That's true.
You also post when crummy things happen to you.
Not saying that you shouldn't do it, just saying that's the number 1 most obnoxious thing. Okay,
stop doing that.
Now wait, this might be more you're seeing at number 2, the disguised brag. And this is explained as thus. Example, when walking home from work, 3 different guys whistled at me and 2 others made comments about my cleavage. Now, I wrote that once about my cleavage, and I didn't think it was that great. Sometimes I really hate men. So that's known as like a humble brag. And I guess for us it would be like, 3 girls gave me the eye on the subway today.
Yeah,
I hated when that happens.
Never did that.
No,
and if you do that, you should be a 10.
You're lying.
I'll go straight to your profile picture.
Yeah, and you know what? And also you're lying because you don't hate it. You love it. You love it. That's why you're showing those fun bags.
True story.
You want people to stare at it. Number 3, the useless relationship update. A la, tough day at work and I came home to a candlelight dinner. I'm the luckiest guy in the world.
That I hate.
Yeah.
I hate that.
Because even, you've been in your relationship for an eternity and me 17 times an eternity.
Yeah.
You don't want to see that from someone else.
No. And you know what? For some reason, I don't like it when guys do it.
Oh, yeah, it's even worse.
Yeah, when guys do it, I'm like, really? You're that happy?
Because it's sappy.
Yeah.
You don't dig the sap. You don't want that.
Now, I think I might have done it at the beginnings of my current relationship.
Well, yeah, but that you're just building a relationship.
I get a pass for that.
Yeah, and not only
haven't done that in a while.
And you're not doing that for yourself. You're doing that to make the relationship work. That means you're really still working at it.
Very true. Not working anymore.
Candlelight dinner?
No,
not so much anymore.
Got yelled at.
I love number 4. This is one that really does piss me off. The cryptic cliffhanger. Like, this could be a big day.
Oh, wow.
But they don't say anything else why. Or
yeah, and there's no follow-up.
No, and you know what? Boy, life can really suck. And then there's no follow-up.
That grinds my gears.
And what they want you to do is they want you to do the follow-up question. I never give them the satisfaction.
Yeah. I sit there and I stare and I wait for something and nothing comes up, especially if you care about the person.
Yeah, you do.
You know?
And you click refresh.
Yeah.
And you get nothing.
Like when you post a picture of a record. I'm like, I don't even understand what that means.
But you don't care. That's the difference.
Yes.
The update that literally describes what you're doing that day but isn't interesting. Example, Off to the gym, then dinner, then TV.
What a day.
Yeah, exactly. And I mentioned this yesterday. One of my all-time least favorite Facebook posts. Up now, coffee soon.
Yeah.
Guess what? Don't care. Don't care.
Yeah.
And these are the ways you're
That's what you
obnoxious.
do, though.
I do sometimes.
You did that yesterday.
Yeah, but I did it.
I actually commented on it.
But I did that as a response. It was an ironic. It was an
I
ironic
didn't know
post.
that. I was
yeah.
like, why is Rob telling everybody what he's doing?
Because
It
I'm
stinks.
pissed. Yeah, it does stink. You need to relish in my irony.
I did not
That's what you
know.
need to do. Yeah,
Don't do that guy.
I'll PM you next time.
Thank you.
I'll say I'm going to be ironic today, Oscar.
Please
And
do.
speaking of private messaging, no one likes the public private message. For example, hey, I miss you. When can we hang out? Because it definitely puts the onus on you.
It does, yeah,
It
yeah,
makes
yeah,
you look
yeah.
like you're not the person in
Or
the friendship.
we should hang out. It's been too long.
Yeah, exactly.
Like that's our fault.
Yeah, it's equal.
Yeah.
You know, it's not me not hanging out with you.
True.
It's you not hanging out with me. This one I like not only on the title because it's not really a reference to you, but it's called the Out of Nowhere Oscar Speech.
Oh, no.
Now, I thought that would involve misspelling in the word pizza.
Yeah.
But it's not that kind of Oscar speech. It's if someone says, for no reason, I just want to thank everyone who's touched my life. Your support means everything, and I wouldn't have gotten through the past year without you. That's another definite baiting post.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
throwing out a fishing line.
Who was great in your life?
And why does your life need that?
Yeah.
Everyone's life sucks.
Yeah, you know what? All of these posts are just self-serving.
They are.
Right?
And, well, but so is all of social media.
That's kind of what you do, though, Rob.
Yeah, but you know what? I like to think that
You do it in a more clever way.
as a rule, I try to include something funny.
Okay.
And the last
fair.
one, the incredibly obvious opinion about a big event. And this one is great. For example, thinking about all the people affected by the recent tragedy. So heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Well, do you think so?
I've done that sometimes. Like,
Yeah.
I've said prayers,
Yeah, but you know what? Prayers is different than you thinking about it.
Okay.
You know, that is, you know what that is? And we've talked about it before. That's making the tragedy about yourself.
True.
And if you
True.
really want a tragedy to be about you, let's just relive this bit that we just did.
It's the Mike O'Mara Show. You can listen to the Mike O'Mara Show at www.mikeomarashow.com.
Stay tuned for an outstanding entertainment program.
It's the Mike O'Mara Show.
Let's get down to business.
From the entertainment capital of the world.
And along with making us legit comes cash. Tons of it. I mean, what do you think we're doing out here in the middle of the desert? It's all this money. This is the end result of all the bright lights and the comp trips, of all the champagne and free hotel suites, and all the broads and all the booze. It's all been arranged just for us to get your money. That's the truth about Las Vegas. We're the only winners. The players don't stand a chance. And their cash flows from the tables to our boxes, through the cage, and into the most sacred room in the casino. The place where they add up all the money, the holy of holies, the count room. Now, this place was off limits. Even I couldn't get inside, but it was my job to keep it filled with cash, that's for sure.
They had so much f***ing money in there, you could build a house out of stacks of $100 bills. And the best part was that upstairs, the board of directors didn't know what the was going on. I mean, to them, everything looked on the up and up, right? Wrong. The guys inside the counting room were all slipped in there to skim the joint dry. They'd do short counts, they'd lose fill slips, they'd even take cash right out of the drop boxes. And it was up to this guy right here, standing in front of about $2 million, to skim the cash off the top without anybody getting wise, the IRS or anybody. Now notice how in the count room nobody ever seems to see anything. Somehow somebody's always looking the other way. Now look at these guys, they look busy, right? They're counting money. Who wants to bother them? I mean, God forbid they should make a mistake and forget to steal. Meanwhile, you're in and you're out. Past the Jago of God who gets an extra C note a week just to watch the door. I mean, it's routine. Business as usual. In, out, hello, goodbye, and that's all there is to it. Just another fat walking out of the casino with a suitcase.
It's the Mike O'Mara Show. Mike O'Mara, Rob Spiewak, Oscar Santana. And now, here's Rob.
Live from Studio 1K in the Pfeifferplex Broadcast Center, this is the Mike O'Mara Show, downloaded worldwide over 20 million times and powered by Encore Insurance. We're at MikeO'MaraShow.com, 1029 FM WTNT in D.C. and the mighty 1630 in Iowa. Today is the 17th day of October, 2013, really trucking through the month. And this first portion of the Mike O'Mara Show, hey, maybe you want to better yourself, get some education. Why not check out Queen's University of Charlotte? It is the only Master of Science in Executive Coaching in the country, and it's offered at Queen's University of Charlotte. If you're interested in the fields of coaching or leadership development, which is huge nowadays, this is the perfect degree for you. D.C. native Henry Lescault says the quote, "The faculty's academic and practical expertise make Queens the best place to receive a holistic coaching education." Here's how it works. The program is designed, Oscar, for working professionals living anywhere. You come to campus for a 3 to 4 day residency twice a semester.
Not so bad.
No, and then you complete the rest of your coursework remotely. That is to say,
That is the future.
at your house.
Yeah.
Check out a Master of Science Executive Coaching at queens.edu/MSEC. That again, that is queens.edu/MSEC. And welcome back.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. Again, with Queen's University.
Yes.
Yeah, do us a favor. If you're out there and you're even thinking of anything like this, maybe some sort of online education.
Right.
And minimal commitment, a semester, do go to MikeO'MaraShow.com, do me a favor, and click on their banner and see what they're all about.
Click on through
Yeah,
it, check it out, and it's great. And you know what? That's something that didn't exist 30 years ago. Executive
No.
coaching and all that stuff, and it's become a huge part of business.
My chick got one of her degrees online, which is it's just the future. That's what it is.
Very cool, and you never have to wear pants.
Very true.
Now, I think for the best of my knowledge, you kept your pants on all day yesterday in New York City.
Yeah, not my shirt though. But that's a different story.
We're gonna get to that.
I'll say this: that yesterday the fellas were kind of to let me head off to New York City.
Now, let me ask, because this is something that we have to put to bed from yesterday's show.
Please.
Really, Mike and I, we were here and we're on our best behavior. We put on a clean shirt. We had a guest in, and about 20 minutes into the show, we realized Oscar's gone and we don't know why. And the only thing we pulled away from it, and it's the same thing you said before you went to China.
Yeah.
You said, this will benefit the show.
Yeah.
Mike and I somehow both had that image in our head of your trip benefiting the show, and we knew you were in New York.
Yeah.
But we couldn't make the connection. How did your trip benefit us?
There's a couple things here. One, you guys truly don't care about me because
No.
I'll say
that's a
this.
half truth at
They
best.
love when I come and give them good news or something's business related. Otherwise, I know I'm tuned out. Like I'm the little brother in the room.
No, that's
that
not
as long as
true.
I don't mess something up,
That's
I am
not
totally tuned out.
That's not
because
true.
I said to Mike, to his face, and you were here as well.
Yeah.
I mentioned why I was going up there, and you tuned me out.
I thought it's something to do with computers.
Yes.
Okay, how am I doing so far? Is it something to do with Apple computers?
Yes.
Okay, is it something...
jerks.
Is it like a discount code or something?
No.
Are you shopping?
Oh my God!
What
no.
was it?
It was the 2013
Do
Tech
you
Talk.
know?
Yeah, it was the Tech Talks for Apple. Where basically it's really meant for developers, gaming developers.
Okay.
So what it was built for was all these developers from around the country went to New York City,
Yes.
and they had the one-on-one coaching you're talking about,
Right.
The actual coaching of how to make your games better and how to build for iOS 7.
Okay.
Yeah, so
that
how to
makes
take
sense.
advantage of the new operating system for games.
So really, you're just being dragged along on Todd's coattails. Because
Yes,
obviously,
yes.
you didn't need a full day in New York City
I didn't.
to design a stopwatch.
No, I didn't. But I also, what I did need was the 3 hours of marketing that they talked about.
Okay,
and
so
that,
they really did the whole deal.
and that was mind blowing.
Now, the fact that you were able to get into this, and what sort of, is it in a ballroom? What kind of?
It was at the Sheraton in Times Square. Yeah, but it was in a ballroom.
Great hotel.
Yeah, beautiful.
Beautiful hotel. You know who I once saw there?
Who?
Ray Romano.
Really?
He was yelling at his kids because they were. No, my dad and I were there, and he was yelling at his
funny.
kids because they were running around in the revolving door.
Yeah,
he was
yeah.
like, waiting in the lobby
Yeah.
for his wife, and you could hear in the whole lobby. It was so great. Hey, quit it!
Quit, kids.
Yeah,
That's
because
awesome.
I saw his kids on Letterman not long ago, and they're like teenagers. They're like big kids now, but when I saw them, they were little. They said,
wow.
Hey, you got to stop in the door.
That's
Quit
the cool
it."
thing about New York. Yeah, I mean, some people say that DC's ugly Hollywood when you see a politician, they kind of like ooh and ah.
Yeah.
But if you see a celebrity, that only happens in L.A. and New York, really.
And really, a celebrity caught in the act of being themselves.
Yeah,
because
a
you
real
know,
person.
I was probably, in my 20s, I was about to play in the door myself. I love a revolving door.
It was so annoying.
But so you're
in
at
and
this,
out.
at this big event. But even though you have a few apps on the market, you don't have the street cred to get invited to this thing.
I felt like I felt when I was in China. Like, I felt like a fish out of water. Like, it just was.
But you never feared for your life.
No. I mean, who knows? There's some brilliant people there. If they use their powers for evil, anything's possible. You had to be invited. I didn't think I accepted for the invite, so I applied, and I was accepted for Free App Company.
Okay, now, obviously, your buddy Todd Moore was also up there.
Yes.
Too. Was he invited?
He was. No, he applied as well.
Really?
Yes.
Is there anyone that has enough
juice?
To get invited to such a thing?
I think something happened in their system where I actually got accepted. And I imagine people that would talk would be invited as well, but I don't know exactly the politics of it.
All right.
But I'll say this. At one point we were sitting eating breakfast, and you've seen the game Temple Run?
Sure.
Yeah, so Temple Run...
It's for Jewish people.
No, stop it.
It's for Jews in a hurry.
No, that is pretty funny. It's one of the most popular games on the App Store.
Actually, I think my son plays it.
Yeah, and the guy, you just started meeting people that created these games.
Wow.
And this is the wild part about this, is the Zuckerbergs of the world that you see on the social network.
He plays Temple Run.
These guys, and I'm not talking about him specifically, but the way they're portrayed in the movie.
Right.
Like douchey,
Yeah, of
hipster.
course.
All these guys are the complete opposite. Like, nice guys, you wouldn't know that, they may be making $100,000 a day with their app, that you don't know any of that because they're just regular people that were able to create an industry with their imagination.
To be fair, though, when you say someone is not that douchey, that's like me saying someone's not that fat. You might have a different scale, but you say
my douche meter's off.
The douchometer might be a good app.
Douchometer?
The douchometer. Maybe we just
somebody get it quick.
We need to recalibrate it. But in real life, they're not like the way they're portrayed in the movies and stuff. Then.
Yeah. But for some reason, and maybe this is because this is probably what I would be like if I actually invented a Temple Run or something like that. But it's like talking to Rob. Rob, you're a nice guy. The people are nice people, and they share and they collectively help each other on how they build games and how they market. And I sat there with my eyes wide open like saucers.
Did anyone say, "Stopwatch for old people"? Huh?
No, I didn't murmur a word about what I did.
You kept quiet.
I said I worked for Todd. I'm not. That's not a lie.
Did you really?
That's not a lie. I said I work for this guy.
Now, how long ago do the applications are they processed? Because this is a big deal. This event.
I would say 2 months. About 2 months ago.
Obviously, yours was, you probably got it under the wire. Now, Todd is sort of a mover and a shaker.
Yeah.
And a tapper.
Yes.
So he taps, he moves, he shakes.
Yes.
And he shows up, but he went up the night before with his assistant girl.
He did, yes.
Yeah.
Katie Cole. And
a TM Soft employee.
Yeah. And they went up because it's a better plan. They spent the night. And then they woke up, and then they went to the conference.
This is not what you said a couple days ago when you explained your plan.
Yes.
Because you had a way to sort of defeat the plan. I will ask you this, while we're talking about Todd and Girl, who really do go out and have their TM Soft adventures.
Yes.
And their TM Soft happy hours.
Yeah.
They went to some bar that was 20 below zero?
Yeah, you know what's great about, and everybody has like a friend like this, I imagine, or they grew up with them, or they passed at this point because they lived their life at 100 miles per hour.
Sure.
Where it's like, when I hang out with Todd, it's the choose your own adventure.
Yeah.
Like, you never know what's going to happen,
right.
which is always fun.
And no doors are shut to you.
No.
Because he likes to do what he likes to do.
Yeah.
And so how do they keep this bar this cold? Is it like an ice bar? Is it a vodka bar? What is it?
I think it's a vodka bar.
All I know is I saw a picture of him and Girl in some sort of drinking environment.
And an ice cube.
But they're holding with gloves. They're wearing gloves in a bar.
Yeah. And I think it's pretty well known in New York. It was right across the street from their hotel, so they just walked across the street.
So you said that you actually were probably offered the opportunity to crash in Todd's room.
Yes. And I said, there's no chance. I have too much on my plate. I had to do Big O and Duke's on Tuesday night. And I said, F it. There's a 3:30 train, 3:30 in the morning, mind you, train. I can take that. I'll get to the conference. A lickety split, no worries.
Now that seems, in retrospect, like a rotten idea, but I can see in the time that you had the idea.
Let's maximize the time that I have.
It made great sense. This is the same kind of sense that you would say, in college, I'm going to just stay up all night.
And then do the test.
And then it'll be great. And it's a great plan.
Done deal.
So you live downtown. How far are you from Union Station where you live?
10 minutes.
So that's... on the surface, this plan works.
This is a great plan.
You get up and you're at the train station.
I get
for
a ride for my girl.
Departure.
I inconvenience her.
You got her up.
I said, look, I can take a cab, but then I give my mopey face, and then she said, okay, I'll drive you. And then I went across.
For our Ustreamers, can we see the mopey face?
It was, I can take a cab.
You know what? I think I'd drive you based on that.
And then, but this is what you don't know. There are two sets of trains. If you've never ridden on a train, especially on the East Corridor, you can get the regular train or you can get the Acela. The Acela is almost double the money.
Acela.
Acela.
And then there's the Metroliner is the other one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Whatever is not the Acela is basically moving produce, because that's what I was in.
What people should know is the Acela debuted to great fanfare, I guess about 10 years ago, based on...
And Don and Mike, you guys would talk about the Acela.
It's a great train.
Yes.
It's based on the European high-speed rail, but the problem is the train is very modern, but the tracks are still from the Civil War.
Mm-hmm.
So the Acela really does move faster, but not like European rail fast.
But it's luxury compared to
It's
the
newer.
regular trains.
Well, because you know what, the regular, the Metroliner is really like World War II.
Yes.
It's like stepping back in time.
And that's what I felt like when I got on the 330 train. And I'll tell you the type of people...
What class of people do you encounter?
Okay, so wait, well, again, I'm one of these people, mind you. I'm getting on this train. I've chosen the adventure of 3:30 a.m. train, Northeast Corridor, going to Boston, stopping in New York.
Did
right?
you sit by Joe Biden?
Yeah, no. I wish he was on the. No, it looked. And I'm going to say this with all due respect to anyone that gets on the train at that. If the INS rolled through that train, and I didn't have my papers, and I couldn't prove that I was a citizen, they would have cleaned up.
You think there's a lot of people perhaps ducking the authorities with the early departure?
It's the 3:30. There's one police officer, and everybody that got on there, I tell you, had not been in this country more than 24 hours.
And they're all going
if
to New
they're
York?
terrorist cells, they're moving at 3:30 in the morning.
So
of all creeds,
you cheated.
My people too.
You cheated death.
Yes.
Now, what time did you get to bed on the night before? Because if you had to do Big O and Dukes,
I did not sleep.
Oh, that's a bad
sleep
move.
On. Yeah, that's a really bad move when you have an 8-hour conference the next day.
Exhaustion back.
Yes, I was
no wonder you didn't murmur a word, because you were probably just glazed over.
I sat there and I was like, again, not to get too further, just really quick with the train.
Yeah.
When you're on,
I think we should indulge the train story. I'm fascinated.
When you're on this train,
yes,
there's a side of you that says, I'm going to fall asleep and I'm going to get re-energized and I'm going to hit the Big Apple, the big city. Look at me. I'm 35. I'm going to become a software engineer. That's in your mind.
I didn't do a lot of train travel until I was about your age. And on a movie, a train is like a living room moving across the country. It's silent, it's quiet,
Yes.
there's lots of room, and it doesn't smell like urine.
Yes.
However, you get on the Metroliner, it's literally loud.
Yeah.
Like if we were to sit this distance apart and talk at this volume, we couldn't hear each other.
Yeah.
So you really can't sleep.
And I guess the best way to describe it is it's a bazaar. You know, in those like Middle East movies, if you watched what was the movie with Ben Affleck where they encountered the Iran hostage affair?
Argo.
Argo. If you watch Argo and you see them weaving in and out of the bazaar, the market, the open air market, that's what it's like on that train.
Yeah, it was like you and Indiana Jones.
Yes,
and your girlfriend is in a basket.
No.
And you're chasing her around the train.
So you don't get a wink of sleep.
You can't.
Because you don't know what's going to happen at the next stop.
Right.
And you stop like 7 times. I didn't know there were that many stops going to New York.
Did you think every stop was going to be like Inglourious Bastards?
I just
have soldiers running.
I didn't know what was going to happen. People were leaving. A guy came in with his 10-speed and like sat right next to me in the row across. I said, he brought his bike on the train. And not even like these new bikes that are light you can carry around. You see all these hipsters running around.
Got a Huffy?
Yeah, it was like something he bought at Costco. God bless him. And
he bought it on Amazon through our website.
It looked so heavy.
Yeah,
so heavy, like he was struggling. And I said, this man. Does he ride his way to the train station? And it didn't make sense.
Well, that's why he's on the train, Oscar. The bike was too heavy to carry.
And there's one place you don't want to be. And I've known this, but I forgot.
Okay.
When you start going through New Jersey and you stop in Newark.
Oh, it's not.
Newark is not a place you want to be.
Not a great time. But congratulations to Cory Booker on winning the special election.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have to actually run an entire campaign to get out of that town.
So as you're moving towards New York City, there are more business people that get on.
Sure.
So the bazaar kind of turns into like the steam engine of commerce.
Yeah.
You know, like you get like 5:30, people are going for their big meetings in New York.
What you've
and Boston.
got is you've timed it. If you leave D.C. at 3:30, by the time you're hitting the suburbs of New York, businessmen are commuting in.
Yes,
and
businessmen.
They're taking the train.
So you've got businessmen in nice suits, like shine shoes.
Right.
And then a bunch of
people
illegals
that are selling curry.
and myself.
Right.
We just look homeless compared to these people.
But
you know?
you were probably in a suit.
No! I look like this!
But what, were you going to change when you got there?
This is the one thing about tech people. None of them dress up.
Really?
They all look like Pony Boy.
Really?
Yes. Skinny, jeans, T-shirt, and that's how they live their life. That's why being a software engineer is great. Like, you can just do you.
Wow.
Yeah. I would have worn a suit.
I made a wrong turn.
Yeah, until Todd's like, you just wear what you want. I'm like, he's really right.
Wow.
Yeah, it's all black hoodies and jeans.
It's comfortable, but you're going to end up in a jail.
Yeah,
because you're on the
thing.
315 train.
To be fair, a couple guys had sports coats on, a distinguished gentleman, not us.
But no shirts under them.
No shirts. And I'll talk about that a little later. So, what you don't know about all of this is that I'm exhausted, I'm tired.
Sure.
I've probably mowed through 4 or 5 hour energies. That's not. You got
it's
jitters.
It's going to kill you. Now I have a question regarding the tired, because if you are on the road, actually on the rails,
yes,
at 3:30, by the time you've gotten your girl to drive you there, you've probably got some adrenaline when the trip starts.
Yes.
Like by the time you're cruising through Baltimore, is that when your head is bobbing, or what point in the trip do you really start to shut down?
As soon as I got on the train, as soon as I get to the kind of terminal, and I realize that there's going to be no sleep because I got to watch my back at every turn.
Yeah, and it's called a train station.
Yeah, or whatever.
Yeah, Union Station.
As soon as I saw the group of people that I was rolling with, I got tired, but then your flight or fight senses kick in. He said, no, you're going to make it. Like, this is going to be okay.
Okay.
Yeah, and I love people. I'm the Ellis Island of personalities. Like,
your arms are open.
I accept everybody.
Right.
Not at 3:30 in the morning.
Well, no,
not with this crew.
It's asking a lot of anybody,
yes.
I think. Okay, so you finally make it into the city.
Make it into the city, get to the hotel, have an amazing conference. People, I got to tell you, there are certain companies out there that you say, I just really wish, have they had enough? Like, can they get any bigger? Are they being greedy? Like, you say they've done too much, right?
Right.
Apple's not one of them. Because I want to kind of secretly hate on Apple because, that's just the way we are. We're built that way.
I think anybody that has had any sort of extended dealings with Apple as far as the Genius Bar or their products, you love them, but there's something about it that rubs you.
But you know what? It shouldn't. Because if you ever get a chance to go to any of these conferences, these are the cream of the crop people for developers.
And how many people does Apple's? Because this is an Apple-sponsored
They travel
conference.
around. They travel to Tokyo, New York. They go to different places and teach people what their knowledge base, right? And help them out.
Did you hang with them in Tokyo?
No.
You didn't
No.
cross paths?
And this isn't your Apple genius. These are like...
These are the real people.
The crew of people there and personalities are so kind and so nurturing and so giving, even to a rube like myself, that I really walked away from that and I said, this is why this company succeeds. The same people that are on stage teaching you how to do this and then have your one-on-one time in the little labs, as they call them, are the same people that are checking you in at 8 in the morning. Like, everybody does everything.
It's a traveling road show.
And they're all... like good people that want to see you succeed.
What I got to know is, when you were at this conference, were you this keyed up? Because if you were, they probably were scared to death of you.
No. You know who doesn't want to see you succeed?
Who?
Todd Moore.
Oh, of course.
My arch nemesis.
Things have happened. We'll hear more about Todd and part 2 of your trip to New York City when we return. Right back after this.
No matter what you do.
You just take a breath, young man.
Sorry.
It's all right. You cheated death. You deserve it. This portion of the Mike O'Mara Show brought to you by ACLens.com. AC Lens is your full-service, direct delivery contact lens supply company with an easy-to-use website, great prices, and amazing customer service. AC Lens is your one-stop shop for all your optical needs. I can speak to this. I've navigated this website. I'm not that technologically oriented. Here's what I did. Honestly, I went to Carrie's her nightstand, took out a box of contact lenses, got her prescription, plugged it in, and in like 3 days I had contact lenses.
Done and done.
It's so easy.
Cool.
And they sell every contact lens available in the United States and have a full 365-day guarantee. At aclens.com, you can get any style you can afford. You can get style you can afford and quality you can see. And you can order online or call them at 888-248-LENS. Order yours today. Just go to aclens.com and click the microphone and enter the code TMOS20 and get 20% off all orders with free returns on everything. That promo again is TMOS20. Just think of 20/20 vision.
Perfect.
TMOS20. Offer may not be combined with any other offers, sales, or special offers at AC Lens. Offer not valid on Ray-Ban, Polo, Ralph Lauren, DKNY, Smith, SunCloud, Superdry, or Oakley brand products. Start getting 20% off today at aclens.com. Carrie loves them. Now, back to you. Yes, don't read ahead.
I'm not going to read ahead.
Because what happened is the conference went well. It speaks well of Apple. Before we get to this next thing, I just got to ask, what did you glean yesterday from this conference that benefits me and Mike?
You know what? How to market the show on mobile.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, so you really did get something out of it.
There's a way that, and it's, if you don't know, you just... Most times when you go through your phone, you kind of scroll.
Right.
And especially if you're advertising on, say, Facebook, for example.
Sure.
Like, really, you have to do certain things and many iterations of it to have people notice you.
And it changes all the time with the new iOS system.
Yes. So the way that they explained how to actually advertise on mobile, especially for these programs, that in the long run will benefit us.
And you call this valid?
That would have gone up there for 10 minutes of that conversation.
Awesome. Okay,
it was really great.
Now, if Mike can buy that, everything is square.
Oh, please.
Now
where's he today? Oh, someone died.
Now stop it, you. Now you finish up the conference about what time?
Sorry. Finish up at 7 p.m.
7 p.m.
Yes.
Wow, long day for you.
Yeah, no sleep, man.
Wow, and so then I guess right off to the train.
Yes.
Now, this is something I did not get this roll of text until I got up this morning. This is the first one I got, and this was a group text, and I will show this. We'll actually put this on the website, but for those of you streaming now, count what looks like 3 Jack and Cokes in front of Oscar.
Fun.
And this is Oscar on the train. And can we see that? What approximately is going on at this point in the trip?
Okay, so Todd.
And I will say this. This is a picture that if you divide it into thirds,
yes,
it's 1/3 empty drink glasses, 1/3 probably sad Oscar, and 1/3 forehead.
Yes.
And you look upset. You look upset.
All right. Probably around... Oh, real quick, I want to say hi to listener Kevin.
Okay.
This guy, he was a 10. Walked up, and he extended his hand, and I thought he was just being courteous and saying hello. He is a software engineer, and he was at that conference, and he listens to this show.
No kidding.
Yeah, for like 23 years.
Thank you, Kevin, very
thank
much.
you so much.
Appreciate it. So but the thing that should be noted is on the trip back, you have one advantage. You are not alone.
Yes.
As they sing in the song. Yes, you have Todd Moore and Girl. Now, why do you say Todd is your arch nemesis?
Because when Todd concocted this whole plan to go up there,
right,
and we all got the okay, he made T-shirts. He made T-shirts that said compulsive. So if you've ever seen Mean Girls...
Hold it! You just said that software engineers aren't douches.
Yeah, that is douchey. You know what? You stopped me in my tracks.
I mean, really. Now, were you expected to wear the T-shirt?
Okay, and I'm going to be real candid here.
Yeah, and you should be, because you know what? This is what this show is all about.
So,
unzip your jacket. That shirt doesn't say compulsive, does it? Good, okay.
Wearing your T-shirt it's like a band wearing their own T-shirt when they go on stage.
Exactly.
And there must have been 500 people there. Yes. No one else was wearing their T-shirt. But I wore it because I'm a good friend and I wanted to show some support and solidarity.
Yeah, so when did you change into it?
In the morning.
When you got there?
Yes, when I got there. Now, I tried to cover up with a sweater and everybody made fun of me, so I took it off. Like, they just said, oh, you're not proud to be here? And I was like, yes. So, but this T-shirt wasn't just a T-shirt. We weren't just the mathletes walking in together, all right? If you see Mean Girls, you got that.
I got it.
So, the T-shirt that he bought himself fit just fine. Like, it was a great T-shirt.
Yeah, of course.
The one that Katie Cole wore, it's a nice shirt. She looked good in it.
Yeah.
My friend Todd Moore pulled what every bride does to bridesmaids that hates their friends.
Oh, made it ugly.
He got me a schmedium.
Oh, no.
And this thing wasn't like, oh, tight, you look buff. This thing was a crop top T-shirt.
Yeah, it kind of looked like something that Curly would wear in the Three Stooges.
Yeah. And because it was one of 3...
Were you showing a little belly?
Every time I sat down. Or stood up. Or went to the restroom. My ass crack was probably hanging out the entire day.
This is your best friend.
My best friend. So, not only are we the mathletes when we walk into this place.
Right.
And I remember every time people would be like, oh, nice shirt. But not like, nice shirt. It was like, you dorks.
Now, does anyone else running in a crew in this huge, very, very elite conference, anyone else have any sort of coordinated clothing?
No, not a one.
And did Todd think this is really going to be what was going to set them apart?
I think so. If anything, they were like, look at... and Todd, I know where you're going with this, but you got me a schmedium. Jesus. At any point, every time someone would talk to us, they'd be like, nice shirts. And they'd look at me and my crop top. And they're like, look, I'm sorry. This is not my size. Like, I was so self-conscious about it. It was horrible.
I love the fact that you really are bearing the brunt of it, and because
I could barely breathe.
Because yours looks the worst. Everyone in that conference thought that was your idea.
Yeah, my idea. Yeah. Like I bought the schmedium because I wanted to look big. No, it was horrible. And so the entire day we have a great time. At the end of the day, I'm cranky. I've met some great people, but I'm tired, right?
Sure.
And on the train back, we're in the beverage cart, and at the beverage cart they serve alcohol.
Sure.
So we just start drinking and having a great time. And I think, and this is like where you turn.
And you've also, at this point, you've been awake for 36 hours.
Yes, but that's my fault. I'm an adult. I take full ownership of that. Like, I should have known better that mainlining 9 Jack and Cokes is probably not the right idea right now.
You know what? Whether or not you take ownership of it, the fact remains you're taxing your body.
Yeah.
And also your circulation is cut off because of your tiny T-shirt.
I could barely breathe. So the mathletes have a great conference. It was awesome.
Right.
Like, it was good. We hit on the train. We start drinking heavily.
Right.
And we had another gentleman from another land. He was with us as well that was a software engineer, and he was sitting with us, right? So
what was he wearing?
He was wearing regular clothes.
Some sort of robe?
Yes. I looked like my mom dressed me.
Yeah.
Like when I was a kid.
But you know what? A lot of people probably thought with this elite conference,
yes,
and of course powerful Todd Moore, this was probably your Make-A-Wish trip.
Yeah.
If you want to know why the people at Apple were so nice to you, they probably thought you were dying.
Yeah, thank you. I just want to go to Tech Talks, and then Todd was benevolent enough to come find me and pick me up and take me with him. Yeah.
Had another much smaller intern that couldn't make it.
Yeah. You know what? This is a new guy. He's new on the team, but the pygmy that was supposed to come left us for another software company. But we just wore the shirt anyway.
It's like the island of Dr. Moreau.
Yes.
Todd has a little assistant.
Yes. Keeps him in the top drawer of his workstation. Yeah. So I'm there, and he said something random because Todd at times can be a dick. Just for the same way that he yelled at our friend Michael Holstein about not having crispy wings.
Sure.
Right. So there's no filter.
Sometimes
with him.
he doesn't hit it off with lady cops.
Yes, there's no filter with him, right?
That's right.
But that's not just on the show, people. It's in real life.
It's part of him.
And I was
one of the reasons you love him, to be fair, is the fact
he's
that
always
he has
gonna be
no
my
filter.
friend.
Yeah,
but he can piss me off. Let me tell you.
Yeah, there you go.
So I got that. So I basically, he says something off color that just didn't make sense. He's just being a dick.
Now, are you using off color right, or do you mean he says something off topic?
No, it's just he was being a dick. He said something dickish to me.
Okay.
All right, if that's even a verb.
Because off color would be like dirty.
Yes.
He's not like coming on to you.
No. He just said something stupid,
Okay.
and I was like, I'm not dealing with this. And then in my mind, what was brewing all day, and on the train to effing New York was this effing tight T-shirt.
Yeah, and you're
that
still
I wore
in
for
it?
my friend. Yes,
You're
I'm still in it.
Oh,
I'm still in it.
God.
And I say to him, in my mind, I'm like, I'm going to show this mother effer that I bought me a schmedium, I could barely breathe. And there in the car, the beverage car, people are everywhere, mind you.
Yes.
I take off my shirt. Thank you. And I take off my shirt because I'm going to throw it in the garbage can.
Oh, it's a gesture.
Yeah.
I was going
to show him.
Yeah.
This is what I think about this idea.
That's right. Now you're going to be dickish.
Yeah, but this is what's great about Todd and Katie. In their evil genius, when I'm getting change out of my sports coat or my jacket.
Yes, your really tiny jacket.
My little tiny jacket. They start taking pictures. And I didn't realize this because I thought I was going to show them that I was going to throw away the compulsive T-shirt, and then they took the most unflattering pictures of me that one man could ever. And we'll get them up there. But I'll say this: that as soon as that happened, that was it. Like we were 2 stops away from D.C.
Yes.
I went nuclear, and I said, revenge is best served cold. And I stomped off that train, and
You were supposed to be their ride.
oh, maybe, who knows?
Oh my God,
You
they
know
could
what?
still be at Union
I just
Station.
took off. I took off.
Wow.
And I said, I'm out of here. And I remember jumping in the car with Shannon and say, we are no longer friends with Todd. He is out. He is out.
You know what's so great about that is you really thought you had him with the grand gesture of taking off the T-shirt, and then as soon as he starts taking pictures, your situation becomes twice as bad.
Nuclear.
Yeah,
Nuclear.
really bad.
So, Todd, if you're listening, no more mathlete jackets, please.
No.
No more T-shirts. Let's just be adults, and then let your work speak for us.
And also, I guess that means that when we do the SEC, or the CES, rather,
yes,
we should cancel the sweatsuits. Back after this, it's the Mike O'Mara Show. Looks like your mom dressed you.
That's how I felt.
You okay?
I'm still mad at him.
Yeah.
I'm happy to be here, though.
Yeah, I'm happy to have you. When do you think you two will be okay? You think you'll party this weekend with him?
No. I'm taking a hiatus from Todd Moore.
I think that's good.
Yeah, a little break. Break, my friend.
All right, well, you know what you can do this weekend while you're taking your break from Todd Moore? You can participate in fantasy football, and no better way to do it than FanDuel. You know, Peyton Manning may be the greatest quarterback ever. Is he on your fantasy team, Oscar?
He would be.
He can be at FanDuel. Imagine resetting your team each and every week. Now you can in FanDuel's 1-week fantasy football leagues. And by the way, you can make some money at it too. FanDuel is weekly. What happened last week doesn't matter because you've got a chance to win again this week. And that's what I didn't like. If you had a bad draft in a classic fantasy football league, you're screwed for 16 weeks.
No, you're right. Week to week is nice.
No, FanDuel, and you can sign up and play today. 1-week fantasy football leagues for real money, immediate weekly cash payouts without waiting, no upfront fees, and no season-long commitments. Play for 1 week or every week and win each and every week. Now, tomorrow, this has become a weekly tradition. Will Josh Murphy be in tomorrow?
He's the magic 8-ball of interns.
He is, and that's not just talking about his haircut.
You never know. He should be here.
Well, good, because, you know, there's a Thursday night game. I want to know how Mike is going to do this week. Mike plays every week. Mike is still into it, and I'm going to let you in on a secret since he's not here today. Mike sometimes lacks a certain attention span.
Oh.
The fact that he's still into FanDuel...
Yeah,
pretty amazing.
Means good.
Yeah, FanDuel is paying out over $135 million this year. Be a part of it. Go to FanDuel.com and click on the microphone in the upper right-hand corner and use the code TMOS to sign up today. New user special. The first 200 listeners to sign up will have their deposit matched up to $200, but you have to enter the code TMOS when you join, Oscar. That's free money. FanDuel.com, where each and every week is a new season. That's FanDuel.com and use the code TMOS and sign up today. Well, you're home. All is well. You and Todd will make up. You're like brothers.
Well, we'll try. You know what? We are. And to be fair to Todd, we both get like this here and there. But I'll tell you that when I woke up this morning,
yes.
I said, what happened last night? And I was like, oh, yeah, that's me there.
Yeah. You had to work backwards?
Yeah, I had to work backwards.
Yeah. All charges were dropped. No, they weren't. I'm still mad.
Yeah, so that, again, that's just, to be able to, and this is actually Kevin he's in like Central Virginia somewhere, the software engineer that was at the Apple conference or the Tech Talks. He
lives in a Unabomber shack.
No, really nice guy.
Makes apps. Yeah.
He asked me why, like, what was my interest in it, and I imagine a lot of people have this, that, you know, I'm lucky enough to have this amazing fun job. Like, there are times when I walk out of here, I'm like, this is cool. Like, we get to do this for a living. This is
our worst
really,
days
really
are
cool.
still pretty good.
Yes, but there's also a part of me that like wants to learn as much as I can while I can. You know.
Sure. And thank God we have you, because you know Mike and I just don't care.
Oh, Jesus!
You keep us on the forefront, and that's awesome.
Yeah. I like to do that.
Okay, so cool. So
I'm back. Everything's fine.
Cool. The game tomorrow is Mike. He helped us market the show.
Yes.
And then we'll change the topic.
Yeah,
we'll
please.
say, hey, Josh will be in today.
You know what? Odds are he'll forget.
That's true.
He'll forget that I was even gone.
That's very true.
Yeah, tomorrow will be a new day.
All right, we're glad to have you back.
Thank
now,
you.
You have the exciting day of going to New York and meeting with all these important power players.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, I've got disasters to deal with at my house.
What's going on?
Linus, as you know, my dog is still a puppy, I guess, by definition, although he's full size. I don't think he's going to get any bigger. Yeah, exactly. And that sounds like him. He has his, what we call his 7 o'clock crazies every night. where he'll just take like about 8 laps around the house as fast as he can, and he growls and then he lays down.
Do you take him for walks?
We do. He walks like 3 times a day, and we run him outside, but he just...
what's a real walk, though?
Oh, the kid,
be honest.
I don't walk him. The wife and the kids walk him, but the walks are 15 and 20 minutes each. They're good walks.
And solid walks.
And Carrie really, really runs him out. I mean, she really... We're trying to wear him out, but he's got that puppy energy. December 1st will be his birthday, so he's 10 months now. And we have really done well as far as puppy-related damage. And any time that you get a dog, and all the warning sites say, expect to clean up occasional messes, and he doesn't do that anymore. And he's got a magical bladder. He can hold all day if he has to. And we haven't had a lot of trouble with that. If Robert leaves his bedroom open, his one weakness are wrestling action figures. And if you need a Daniel Bryant that's devoid of hands and feet, we've got them.
Okay.
We've got all these for you.
Yeah.
But they're little rubber action figures. They
look like chew toys.
They do.
To a dog.
And he really goes crazy for them. But we had an issue. I don't think we've lost but maybe one shoe in the whole time. We've done really good.
Not very bad.
No, for a puppy, no. I come home last week, and on the floor, now when you come into the main level of our house, there's wood floors. There's carpet upstairs, carpet downstairs. But the main level, there's wood floors. And I look, and are you familiar with the Greek letter pi?
Yes.
Yeah, and it looks kind of like this.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah,
and just so the people at home can see.
I think everybody should know what pi is.
Well, yeah.
If you don't, think about life.
That's right.
Sit down and think about it.
I love pie.
No, but you know what I mean.
I know. Pie is a great letter and a great food. And on the floor, there's a couple strands that look like little pie. There's like a little strand up top and 2 things hanging down. I said,
Where?
What? On the floor.
Okay.
I said, what are these? And as I get further and further into the house, there's more and more of these little guys, and I realize they're carpet fibers.
Oh.
And I said, oh, no, this isn't good. Carrie's not home yet.
Yeah.
And I said, so I've got to figure out what this is. So I go downstairs. It's not in the basement. And I come back up, and up our stairs to go to the upstairs, like to the bedrooms. The stairs are wood, but they have carpet running down the middle. Does that make sense? So there's wood on either side.
You got a runner.
Yeah, a runner. But it's, it's installed. And on the middle of one of the steps, he has started to dig in, and there is a triangle. To a point where it's so focused, I wondered if he was looking for something. And there is just a triangle about the size of a Post-it pad that is totally devoid of any sort of fuzz, kind of like the inverse of a 1970s porn star.
So you're going through your home, you find
little fibers.
Yeah, damage. Some sort of damage has occurred.
Right, and so I had to find the damage, and I said, oh my God, this is not good, because now not only are the fibers gone, because the fibers are held together with the polyester rope within. That string is everywhere, and because it's right at the edge of the carpet, there is a strip of wood with nails sticking up. And so I'm scared, since I spend most of my time barefoot, I'm thinking, I'm going to step on this. I'm going to need a tetanus shot. So I've got all kinds of fears. I fear for my own lockjaw. I fear for Carrie killing the dog. And also I fear, why is he doing this?
And how much is that going to cost?
Costly. Now, it can be repaired, and we'll address this in a second. So my first thought is, protect the dog. So
Why? Beat the dog.
No. Because he's a puppy and he has a walnut-sized brain.
No.
And you know what?
Not in the Fantana's house.
I could point at it and go, bad, and I could push his face into it. He doesn't remember that he did it. He doesn't know.
Yeah, but this is okay. Look, I don't. You shouldn't beat your dogs.
You're right, and you shouldn't beat my dog.
Yeah, that's not right.
Nobody beat anybody's dog.
But if you don't show them some sort of penalty, whether it's a crate, or anything like that.
But how is he going to associate it with it? Because he's done with it.
The dogs are pretty smart.
Not this dog. This dog's an idiot. No. So my first is I get the vacuum and I suck up all the fibers and I trim where there's like the loose threads and I make it look as good as possible as a 5-inch hole in my carpet can look. And Carrie comes home and I say, not a great day. Linus did some damage to the carpet. And she says, oh, that's to be expected.
Yeah.
And then she looked at it, she says, well, why do you think he did it? Because when she saw it, it's a bad deal.
Clearly, it's like a bad toupee.
So I say, you know what? We'll look into it, and we'll have it repaired. It can be repaired. Yep. And the next day, I come home, more fibers.
Oh!
Same spot. He's at the same spot. What kills me about this, is that I just don't know, why is he going at this one spot? So I'm thinking, okay, again, I trim, I vacuum, and the second day I get a hammer and
You hit him?
No, not the dog. I flatten all the nails so I can't step on them.
Yeah.
So now all it is an unsightly mess. And I do some research, and I remember reading and actually hearing in Linus's puppy classes that you can get a sour apple spray that dogs avoid.
I've done that. I've actually done that.
And remember, actually, if you go way back, there was a gentleman from another land at our puppy training class that said, "My dog is biting my pants always. He is biting my pants always." And they said, "Well, you need the sour apple spray."
That guy, right?
That's the guy. I believe he was at your conference.
Yeah, he was also on that train.
And so
New York.
the early train.
Yeah.
So I go to the Walmart and I get a big bottle of whatever, I think it might be Hearts is the brand, sour apple spray. And what's great is that he doesn't go anywhere else in the house to chew. Now, if he was a sporadic, everywhere around the house chewer, I'd be thinking, oh my God, how can we control this? But he just likes this one spot. So I go up there and I
douse it.
Really, probably even too much because I don't want any more damage.
There's a wet spot now.
Yeah, exactly. 5 minutes later, I come back. He's licking the sour apple spray. So as far as the effectiveness of it, I would say not. I think what he thinks is I've turned the carpet into a Jolly Rancher for him because it's just sour apple flavor that he loves. He's left it alone for a few days, and when he goes towards it, if we spot him, when he's right there, we say no. And then he also hates a water spray bottle.
Can you give me the no once again?
No!
Pony, if you heard that no, like, wouldn't you laugh? Like, I'm surprised that when you say that to your dog, with all due respect to you, that no has, like, no bite to it.
Okay,
what about... He would just defecate in front of you.
What about this, all right? Linus, stop it!
Yeah, that's a little scary.
Okay, and I do occasionally, but you can't lead with that.
I don't feel too good now.
You can't lead with that.
I'm sorry, Rob.
No! You see, you got to start with a no, and then you can easily also go with He hates that noise.
Oh.
So sometimes that works.
That's annoying.
So we've got to get the carpet repaired. And we did not have this house built. We didn't build the house. We bought it from the people who did.
Who builds their houses?
Well, I mean, the people that, like, when the development was being built, they chose the colors.
Oh, I know they did that, but you're referring...
That's what I'm saying. They
but no one builds a log cabin these days, do they?
No.
Yeah, so developers build your home.
Kevin could. Kevin from Central Virginia could actually build his own house.
He probably has a log cabin.
Yeah, but the people that actually had the house built chose all the colors and everything. They did one thing that's wonderful. They saved every can of paint that went into this house. And I'm talking
responsible.
5 different shades of tan, the maroon for the kitchen, the green and everything. We have every drop of paint we'd ever need for repair, but not one bit of carpet for repair. So here is my thought. What I need is to figure out a way to get at least a similar color carpet, because I can't recarpet the whole house. I might be able to get away with just replacing one step. And then there are also people that can weave carpet in.
Yeah, but that seems a little more expensive.
Well, but not than buying yards and yards of carpet, because it's a small spot. So here's my thought, and I want to float this out to you guys. If I only need about 8 square inches, or I guess 64 square inches, an 8-inch square piece of carpet, why don't I just take it from the back of a closet where no one can see it, and then put something in the back? Do you think this is a viable?
That's smart.
Because it would be the same color,
Yeah,
right?
my mom used to say this in Spanish, and I don't know if it translates. She said, and there's probably an English saying to this.
Okay.
Vas a desarmar un santo para otro, which is basically you're ruining something else to fix the ruined product. Right?
Okay, yeah, all right.
But it's something with the saint. Who knows? She's foreign. But I'll say that, so you're not really solving the problem.
No, well, I could get it. No, I'm not. But
what if you did the legwork to find that type of carpet?
Well, I mean,
then if you did that, you wouldn't. If you ever sell your house when you move to Iowa, and move into Steve Bridges'
basement,
his basement, the person who buys that house you're doing what the government's doing.
I'm not doing what the government's doing.
Yeah, because they're gonna be like, what happened to that closet? Like,
I'll put something in the back of the closet. You know what? Maybe we'll put in. You know, what'd be really cheap is to do hardwood floors. They charge by the foot. I would only need 2 feet of hardwood floors to do a closet.
See, just do the work and match the carpet.
You see that, but then you get into an issue of dye lots. Do you know what that is?
I have no idea.
See, you have no idea.
What does that mean?
If I were to go and find this identical
lots?
Brand of carpet. Okay, and this
it's like a swatch.
If you do this in furniture, if you buy the same piece of furniture from the same group but from different production runs, the fabric has been dyed at different times, and although it's essentially the same color, it might not be the same. So you need to buy it from the same dye lot.
But isn't boring beige just boring beige?
Yeah, and I think the color that we're looking for here is brand.
Ah.
Yeah, it's a horrible standard carpet
Well, then
color.
that's probably you can't go too wrong on that, right?
Well, you know what we'll do?
He's gonna cut the back of the closet.
No, I'm not. I'm not going to do it.
Yeah, you are.
You know what? Maybe for Christmas.
And then put a box on top of it and forget about it.
What's in the back of the closet? Maybe we could teach the dog to sleep in the closet.
You need a baby gate, is what you need. A baby gate for the stairs.
No, but the dog needs access to the house.
No, he's a dog. What about the humans that pay the mortgage and work and live and eat and support that mutt?
I know, but he's just a little guy.
God.
I'm going to get it fit. You know what? Maybe for Christmas, I'll have it repaired for Carrie, and that'll be a great romantic gift.
No. Then you look like a complete a-hole.
How do I look like an
Hey,
a-hole?
remember the dog that I wanted that tore up our house? I'm fixing his mess and have Merry Christmas, by
I
the
gave
way.
in on the dog. I'll get her something else nice.
Yeah, you have to get the dye lots and figure out what you want.
So you say don't destroy the closet.
Get the swatch.
Okay.
Because it'll come back and it'll bite you in the ass later.
Okay. Do you think I have to recarpet the whole steps or just that half of the steps?
Just that half.
Okay.
And think about this. If I went in and saw that just a random square that was missing in the house I wanted to buy,
triangle.
or a triangle, I would say these people are lazy. Why would they? Who would do such a thing?
That's
who would
true.
do this?
That's true.
Right? You'd be turned off. What else did they cut corners on? The piping?
That's exactly right.
What else is missing?
Standing water in the basement. Yeah. I guess I do have to get it replaced. Yeah.
I know you don't want to do it. How about have Carrie do it? Look, Carrie, let's go together.
The less she gets involved with anything, the better.
You know what's to be great? Your kids are almost at that age when you can start sending them places.
I know.
You're
Julia,
almost there.
I think Carrie, a couple weeks ago, actually made Julia walk to Target. It was like a huge watershed moment.
Yeah.
She said, you want that? You want those colored pencils? Walk and get them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we need to do.
And you showed her. You paid for them, right?
I did.
Yeah.
I did. Julia, the amazing child who has never brought change for anything. Have you ever gone to a 10-year-old and said, here's $10 and I need to see receipts? I do that to my kids.
Really?
Because the money disappears.
Oh.
I'm going to the movies.
Matacambio is what they call him. Change killer.
Change killer.
That's
right.
That's what my dad called
exactly.
me. Yeah.
Real quick before we break, and we have e-news today because Mike will be back tomorrow with regular news you will not need. Pony, I will have to tease one thing and ask him about another.
Okay.
How's your finger?
Oh, my God. It's much better than it was on Tuesday, but it still hurts.
He nearly cut his finger off. What happened?
I don't know the details of this. I saw the picture. I was like, this is not good. He went to the hospital.
Well, the urgent care center.
Same thing.
Yeah, pretty much.
What happened?
Well, I don't remember all the details, but luckily...
A lot of blood loss? Or were
2
you
days ago,
drunk?
you jerk.
All my friends on Facebook were kind enough to help me remember the details.
Oh, good. So before we go to that...
It's party time! Get up!
This does make me happy.
Yeah, it does.
My pony boy!
First off, how did you cut your finger?
Well, it all had to do with, apparently, there was a gorilla running around in Manassas when I was driving around the other night.
Are we gonna do shtick? I just want to know how you cut your finger.
Okay, if you want to know the real
I
truth.
do.
Hey, Pony, your shtick is horrible. Don't
Hey,
ever
it wasn't
do it.
my shtick.
Just tell us the truth, please. Continue.
Okay, so I was cutting a salami and
Hey
then,
now!
Yeah, you were.
Yeah, boy.
and
Topless?
then I was cutting my finger.
Okay, so you had people over for dinner. Let me help you out.
Was it a
right?
spaghetti party?
No.
No, what were you making?
I was making burgers, and they were taking longer than expected, so I figured, okay, I'll help my friends out and cut some of this salami up
What a
for
nice
them
friend.
and feed them.
Yeah.
And
He loves to
then
feed people.
I wasn't paying enough attention. I may have had a drink or two, and
Ah.
I was cutting
Interesting.
in the wrong direction. Generally, you want to cut away from yourself.
How do you
but,
cut a salami toward yourself?
Okay, I don't.
You know what?
it took-
That's what really like when construction workers or
Yeah.
like these guys like you always see them cutting a salami or a piece of like something like real men do.
Exactly.
Not-
Like when they're sitting on a girder.
Yeah, like they're,
Yeah.
they're thousands of feet on a beam, and those old timey pictures where they're like they have a knife and that's not just their knife for their salami, but they actually build stuff with it.
Exactly.
You
They're-
know? That's
yeah.
what he was trying to look like. Were there females around?
Yeah, there were two.
yeah, there you go.
I was actually standing over a trash can.
No.
So it wasn't as exciting as the construction stuff, but it was still pretty hot. So I somehow cut towards my own thumb and got about an inch long and several millimeters deep cut that would not stop bleeding for 2 hours. And I'm sitting there, I'm saying, no, it's fine, I'm only bleeding because I've been drinking. It's no
What
big
does that
deal.
even mean?
Well, because you bleed a lot more when
Thins your
you're-
blood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not buying it for a second.
So,
I thought you knew about that, Rob.
Yeah.
oh, there you go. You're bleeding, and what happens?
Okay, so I'm bleeding for like 2 hours, and they finally said, all right, we're taking you to the hospital or something. And I
How
said,
drunk are
"No, no,
How
no,
drunk
that's
are these
fine."
people now that say this? Is it more like
well-
you need to get to the hospital, or is it more like stitches?
More like the first.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
I was more like the second
Good,
because of just blood loss.
Yeah, and
So-
you're cooking.
Well, yeah. So I end up getting in the car with them. I agreed to let them take me. I get to the emergency care center,
Yes.
and the guy at the desk is like, "Oh, hey, how's it going?" Blah blah blah. So I said to him, like, my friends, they think I need to get stitches.
Really
It's-
good. He rolls in drunk.
You're the worst
Yeah,
friend
like
ever.
Yeah.
it's no big deal, but I agreed I'd let them, bring me here. I'm sure I'm fine.
Yeah.
And he's like, all right, well, let's get you in there. I sit down. The doctor comes out, and I'm like, oh, hey, how's it going? Yeah, just a little scrape.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, you're still bleeding.
After 2 hours, how many stitches did you get?
He goes, it looks like you're going to need about 4 here. And I'm like, really?
Yikes.
Because I didn't think I was going to need any.
Yeah.
And then he shoots me up with some stuff to numb my hand. So I've got it felt like I had a club for a hand, and he starts putting in all the stitches. And eventually we get out of there at like 12:30, and I get home, and Oscar sends me a text. And he's like,
I'm always texting him.
Of course.
you need to get this thing on the website fixed now. And all I
Is that what I sound like to you through text?
That's how
I'm
he
so
reads. That's how
sorry.
he reads the text.
that's how yes.
I'm such a mean person. I'm sorry.
So I immediately sent him a picture of my hand after the doctor had stitched it up with just a blood everywhere,
Yeah.
a big huge mess. So
And I
Oscar's
text
like,
back, just get it done.
And the amazing thing is, the burgers were great.
Yeah. Hey, Pony,
Yeah.
I would let you bled out, because if you cut yourself that way, I mean, you
It
have
was
to go to the
stupid.
doctors.
I
What
was
kind
an
of
idiot.
knives do you have? People are going to ask.
really, really sharp. I don't know, just your standard, it was a paring knife, I guess.
Okay. Sharp knives, though.
Sharp.
My dull knives hit me all the time because I
Yeah.
don't cook.
Yeah.
And I was like, when I'm cutting bread or anything,
Yeah,
and I'm
yeah.
like, no big deal. But I could tell if you're a cook, your knives are always sharp.
Yeah, and you know what else is when you're drinking?
Oh, that's
Doesn't
not
really
good.
matter on the
Look,
sharpness.
I'm not proud of any of
No,
this.
no, no.
Right?
Well, thanks for getting that banner up, by the way.
Yeah, and thank God you cheated death. You know what? Everybody has survived so much this week. Meanwhile, I'm just looking at carpet fiber.
Sure.
I'm safe in the suburbs. Stick around. We're back with entertainment news right after this, okay? Welcome back to MikeO'MaraShow.com, and welcome to a new sponsor, Oscar.
Yes.
eVoice. If you are an entrepreneur, your first impression means everything. If a customer calls and doesn't like what they hear on the phone, they're not going to tell you. They'll simply move on and leave you in the dust. That's why eVoice is so important. eVoice helps you control the experience every customer has when they call your number. And with toll-free or strategic local numbers, call routing tools, and a dial-by-name directory, you'll never be leaving money on the table. If you can't take a call, don't sweat it. eVoice will transcribe the voicemail and email you the text, so you know how to respond and how to repair. This kind of technology can save you thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars, and it only starts at $10 a month. You can try it for 1 month free when you go to MikeO'MaraShow.com and click on the eVoice banner.
Listen, people, when you go to the eVoice banner, if you're a small business or you have a business that runs out of your home, or even it's part-time, say you have a full-time job and this is like your business on the side,
Yeah,
right?
like you could be selling on eBay.
Yes. If you're out there, this is the perfect solution for you. Listen to this number and call it today.
Oh, are you going to announce our number?
Here we go.
Okay. We have an eVoice number now.
We do. We're finally a business.
That's right.
Reputable.
Right.
This is taking forever. All right. 800-440-8161.
That number again.
800-440-8161.
And that's the number for the Mike O'Mara Show.
Direct line to Ponyboy and direct line to our sales staff.
Fantastic. If you're lonely, if you have
Oh, no,
tips,
please, business only.
no, business only. If your business is making bleeding stop, this is a great number
Yes,
to call.
yeah.
That number once again.
800-440-8167.
And that's our number. You can have your number anytime, and it's real easy. Just go to MikeO'MaraShow.com and click the banner one more time. Free trial, www.MikeO'MaraShow.com, and click the eVoice banner. And thank you, eVoice, for joining the Mike O'Mara family. We genuinely appreciate it. Now, a special Thursday edition of everybody's favorite entertainment news feature. Here's Oscar Razzi.
All right, people. A little early in the week for Oscar Razzi, but we got this.
Yes.
Ashton Kutcher.
Yes.
Do you like him?
I do.
You like him.
I do. And you know, he is a native, I believe, of Iowa City.
Very cool. Well, you'll like this.
He's out there in KCJJ
that
land.
He is the highest paid actor in television.
The whole television industry?
Yes. His estimated earnings are $24 million between June 2012 and June 2013.
That's a good living.
$24 million.
Wow.
That's enough. Charlie Sheen went crazy.
Yeah.
He stepped in and held some of the ratings. The ratings were a little down, but he's still getting paid.
You know what? That's enough salary for 2.5 men.
Yeah, 12 million viewers.
Yes.
I got that.
12
million viewers still tune in to that show.
Wow. Well, good for him. You know, he actually is a good guy. He does give back. He has charitable interests that are pretty great, but that's amazing. That's a lot of money for a show that, honestly, I don't look at.
Yeah.
Do you watch it?
I don't watch it. I'll watch it once in a while, but it's not go-to for me.
Not many sitcoms I watch anymore.
Yeah.
So, but that good for him. I think that's money to a good place.
John Cryer and Angus Jones were on the program.
Yeah, he's the half man.
Also made the list. Cryer is the second with $21 million.
Yeah.
And Jones, who's working his last year on the show, made $11 million.
Good money for a youngster. Do you think John Cryer is bitter that he's been there longer and he makes less? How do you think that? Or do you think he's pleased that a Hollywood star came in and saved the show?
Yeah, because no paycheck would have sucked.
That's true.
Right?
That's true.
And all things considered, even if you don't like Ashton Kutcher, the fact that he does all these charitable things, you got to respect that.
Maybe John Cryer has been deemed a non-essential employee.
Do you know who Harry Belafonte is?
Of course.
Yes, I didn't really know who he was.
He's a calypso singer.
I recognized him. Smooth black man. I said, who is that distinguished black man out there?
Hey, Pony, what's gray and sings calypso music?
I have no idea.
Harry Belafonte. I love 70-year-old jokes.
This is in entertainment news simply because I thought it was interesting and a little sad at the same time. So Harry Belafonte was great friends with the late Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., right?
Okay, yeah, makes sense.
So he, in his possession, has a couple speeches and drafts from Dr. Martin Luther King. They
so
were
actually handwritten things.
Handwritten. That were written in his home.
Wow.
In his home.
And this is, of course, Harry Belafonte. The Banana Boat song.
Yeah, I love the song. Yeah. It's great.
You know it from Beetlejuice.
Yeah, I do.
Oh, okay.
Dancing stairs.
So he has an amazing Martin Luther King memorabilia.
He does. The King family is suing him for these letters saying that he can't have them. The reason why they're suing him now after all these years is that he put them up for auction for like a boys and girls club. So they could raise money for the Boys and Girls Club.
Okay, so he was trying to actually turn them into cash for a charitable interest.
After all these years. Right? They're in his home. And there are collectors out there that pay a pretty penny for this.
Sure.
And now the King family, and really the Dr. King's kids, are suing him for this. And it's just been tied up in litigation over and over again for the last 2 years.
What is your opinion of that? Because my thought is that if he has had them in his personal possession for all this time, they're his.
He was with Dr. King when he got assassinated.
I actually, in the back of my mind, I knew that.
Yeah.
So, but if and the fact that he's not doing it to raise money for himself.
Yes.
Boy, I think they should be hands
crummy,
up on
right?
that. I think they should be hands up. Let him do it.
And whoever's going to get it, who knows? Maybe the Smithsonian would buy him. Who knows?
Yeah, true enough.
Yeah, but I thought that was interesting, and
and this has been going on.
Yes, but it just finally came to light because they have 3 years that basically with a lawsuit like that.
Okay,
and then it'll expire, and we'll see what happens.
Okay,
but I like Harry. I thought he was a nice guy, and read the story. I was like, this is interesting.
Amazing. Sold a lot of records for RCA.
Charlie Hunnam.
Hunnam?
Which is Hunnam. Hunnam. How do you say that? Charlie Hunnam?
Spell it.
I always say it wrong. Hunnam. Hunnam.
I think it would be Hunnam.
Hunnam. Charlie Hunnam. I should say that. It's Jax from Sons of Anarchy.
Okay.
We mentioned this.
Yeah.
That he rolled out of the 50 Shades of Grey, and you're wondering why.
Yeah, why? Oscar?
Allegedly, and this is what I love about Hollywood is that there'll be a statement and there are rumblings, like people talking about stuff, and then you finally hear the truth.
Right.
Kind of like that rumor about the Don and Mike podcast. And I sat there.
Quit it.
I sat there and I started reading. And initially he said he left because he had a busy schedule, right?
TV schedule.
Yeah, so busy.
TV schedule didn't allow it.
He was packed. Now it's coming out that he was doing rewrites with the director. And they came to an impasse.
So this guy, who's known exclusively for his acting, was actually in on the script?
Yeah, he was giving the director and the writer just a couple notes, and then it became too much, and then they parted ways.
They went all Jonas Brothers and broke up.
And know this, that when you get such a huge role, imagine how much he was getting paid.
Oh, and it's not just the fact that he's getting paid. He's going to have Hollywood stock afterwards.
Yeah, he already kind of has it now with his couple movies and Jax.
Wow.
$125,000.
Wow.
That was the low ball. But I think what really brought them to an impasse was that some of the script wasn't really working for him. And, you can meddle with people once in a while, but if they've got something set in stone, I don't know if the director took too kindly to it.
And also, what you're dealing with is, anyone will agree, I mean, even though the book sold 1 billion copies, it's horribly written.
Yeah.
So if you're using that book as your basis, you probably got a weak script to start with.
One last note.
Yes.
If you're a Scandal fan, you'll like this. Saturday night, Kerry Washington will be hosting Saturday Night Live.
Okay, I hope they can do better than they did last week. They really phoned it in with Bruce Willis. I was disappointed because I love Bruce Willis. All right, we will have news you may not need tomorrow. News you may not care for returns tomorrow.
That's
Oscar
Razzi.
Thank you, Oscar.
Thank you.
Stick around. We'll come back. We'll do the audio vault right after this. The Mike O'Mara Show.
I was alone. I took a ride. I didn't know what I would find there.
Amazon. Woo! Do you have your Halloween costume
I
yet?
did. I ordered through Amazon.
Now, are you going to actually wear your costume at the state theater?
No, I won't be wearing it then. I'll wear it maybe in here.
Okay, cool. I'd like to see it. All right. And by the
surprised.
way, before we just say this, tickets still available for the State Theater show November 9th, Omericon 2013. Get your tickets at MikeOmaraShow.com. And while you're there, click our Amazon link, because anything you need, anything you want, Amazon has it, always open at MikeOmaraShow.com. All your Halloween supplies, costumes, and, of course, tutus and petticoats. You can get at Amazon.com. And don't forget, always, it's the best place for all of your office supplies. Today and every day, save money and support this show. Just click Amazon at MikeOmaraShow.com, and don't be afraid to bookmark it. Can you please open the vault for me?
Absolutely. Thank you. Apologize.
I got a rare treat today. I was watching, as I do every morning, Tony Perkins on Channel 5, and he did us a favor by coming by yesterday and helping us out.
Cool.
How about this? Out of the blue, in the middle of the news, Tony gives us this.
Hey, I want to mention very quickly, yesterday I had the opportunity to be on the Mike O'Mara show, their podcast. It was great fun. If you're interested, go to MikeOmaraShow.com. You can see some pictures there, get the information as to where you can get the podcast. But it's available now. It's show number 919.
All right. Meaning he's done 918 shows
Oh, yeah,
before?
they've done a lot of shows.
That's amazing.
And it's called Tony Perkins TV.
Love it.
It was fun.
Tony, you rule!
He's the best.
You rule! If I was into dudes, I'd do things to you.
You know what? You may want to anyway.
He's so nice.
And follow him on Twitter. It is at Tony Perkins TV. What a nice guy. I love Tony.
Very cool.
All right. Did you see the footage of what happened on the floor of the House yesterday as they were passing the bill that's going to get us through, I guess, January or maybe early February? There's a stenographer on the floor of the House that takes notes of all the transfer. She just loses it.
Really?
In the middle of the vote. This is the lady that's supposed to sit down there with shorthand and write down everything that's being said. This is live on the floor of the House of Representatives. This is great.
He will not be mocked. He will not be mocked. Don't touch me. He will not be mocked. The greatest deception here is this is not one nation under God. It never was. Had it been, it would not have been. No. It would not.
And right now they're trying to quietly escort her out of the chamber, and she's saying, no.
Constitution would not have been written by Freemasons. They go against God. You
she lost me.
cannot serve two masters.
Not a fan of the Freemasons?
Serve two masters. Praise be to God, Lord Jesus Christ.
And apparently the thing that put her over the edge is someone made her wear a T-shirt that didn't fit her.
Do that to anybody.
That was her name was Diane Reedy. I believe she was being interviewed by security immediately afterwards.
Yeah, you crack.
But wow, I mean, the stenographer, you never even see them because they're just hidden in a corner, and she just lost it.
And you got to really love typing if you're into that.
Yeah, and it's a funny typewriter. It's only got like 8 buttons.
Well, yeah, little guy, right?
Just a little fella. Okay. Robert Kardashian. Now, you know him as the OJ lawyer, right?
Yes.
And how does he fit in with Bruce Jenner? Is that
Robert Kardashian.
His kids are the Kardashian kids with Kris Jenner, right? All right, well, Robert Kardashian's ex-wife Ellen has issued a story about Bruce Jenner that sort of lends some light to the fact that Kris and Bruce Jenner are being divorced. And I found this one just worthy of note. She said that Bruce Jenner, her words, not mine, has a desire to be a woman and has a history of cross-dressing.
Oh, my God.
So, yeah, here he is, the fellow from the Wheaties box, perhaps.
Olympian.
Maybe he would have liked that small T-shirt.
Yeah.
But here is Ellen Kardashian talking about her experience with Olympian Bruce Jenner.
I had heard stories about Bruce and his cross-dressing, but, you know, a lot of times they're just stories.
Sure.
But we did get a frantic call when Chloe was babysitting one weekend and found a closet full of things that did not belong to her mother. When Chloe called and she was so upset and I gave the phone to Robert, you know, he then told her that, you know, they probably were her mother's wigs and you know, shoes, and she said no, that her mother did not wear a size 13 shoe, and the clothes that were in this closet were much too large for her mother. So I guess at that point he felt compelled to tell her the truth and to get out of his closet. And don't be snooping. Robert did confirm to Chloe that those were not her mother's clothing.
Oh.
Those were not her clothes, and that they belonged to Bruce.
I got no problem with him dressing up as a chick, and you know what? It kind of explains the surgery.
Yeah.
Because
he's all this,
pretty fine-looking lady
I
now.
watched that show, and I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
You know? Put a wig on him.
Yeah, then you got it. You
Yeah.
got something. But, you know,
Interesting.
it also explains to me that why there might be complicated issues in the divorce. I don't know if it's a problem with them, but it certainly is a complication.
Fighting for outfits.
And also, yeah, did you take my lipstick? And also, have you seen how crazy Bruce Jenner has been with the paparazzi lately?
Yeah,
he's
everywhere.
spraying at him left and right.
Everywhere.
Well, maybe he doesn't have access to his heels.
Interesting.
He's upset.
Yeah, I didn't know that was out there.
Okay, on CNN, they're doing promos now in commercial breaks where you are introduced to the CNN anchors. And there's an anchor now named Sarah Elizabeth Cupp, C-U-P-P.
Okay.
S.E. Cupp is the name she uses on CNN, and I love what Jimmy Kimmel picked up on because they just ran this promo as CNN does.
Cool.
Okay? Here's the promo for S.E. Cupp.
This is good. I watched a lot of CNN today. They do a new thing where they have the anchors introducing themselves during the commercial breaks. I was on my computer. I was just kind of half paying attention when I heard this promo.
I'm S.E. Cupp, and this is CNN.
Am I the only one who heard her say, I'm a C-cup? Don't get me wrong, you're a very attractive woman, but why do we need to know your bra size? Play that one more time.
I'm S.E. Cupp, and this is CNN.
No one picked up on that? S.E. Cupp. I'm a C-cup. Pretty
Wow.
good. Now, let's say you're a young college guy and you're out to see a concert and you go and see Coolio.
Ooh.
Okay? And you end up in one of the VIP areas and Coolio actually makes an appearance. It happens, especially with mid-level artists. What if Coolio really likes you and your college friends?
Oh, interesting.
And he ends up back at your apartment. He makes you dinner. But here's the best thing. They actually get out a guitar and perform Gangsta's Paradise and put it on YouTube.
That is
Look at the situation they got me facing. I can't live a normal life. I was raised by the state, so I gotta be.
So that evening started with those kids going to a Coolio concert.
That is awesome.
And it ended up at their apartment.
Oh, I'd kill for that.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah. What a story. Look, Coolio may not be as relevant as you want him to be these days, or he'd want to be, but that is awesome.
And the amazing thing is he was able to make an entire dinner without cutting his finger. But that's Coolio doing that. Let's do one more. You had a whole technological day yesterday.
Yes.
Did anybody talk about the newest advances of, probably not, in Wi-Fi technology?
No, I did not hear.
This is new. They're working on this. Independent people are working on the underwater Wi-Fi.
Researchers are in the process of creating an underwater Wi-Fi network. Yeah, finally a way for people to tweet, I'm drowning. Hashtag glug glug.
All right, now you can hit the closing music. That is it. Right. Thank you, folks, for sticking around today. Mike, we send our love. I know it's a tough day for you, and along with
God bless you, man.
Jimmy and all of Chris's friends that made the trip down there. Mike O'Mara will be back live in studio tomorrow, and we thank you for spending some time with us. today.
Thank you, Rob.
Thank you, Oscar. Who was our top sponsor today?
Our top sponsor today was eVoice.
Oh, yes, eVoice. Remember, you can get to eVoice by clicking the eVoice banner on MikeO'MaraShow.com. It makes you look like a big-time player with a huge phone system.
Very cool.
And you can get a free trial just by going to MikeO'MaraShow.com.
Check it out today.
Very cool. Do you have our phone number?
I do, 800-440-8167.
Check it out. Pretty cool. For tech support questions, or if you just need a couple stitches, contact our man Ponyboy at MikeO'MaraShow.com. That's Ponyboy at MikeO'MaraShow.com. Any correspondence for our show can be sent old-fashioned to our P.O. Box, P.O. Box 3, Manassas, Virginia, 20108. For Rob Spiewak, that's me. I'm just reading what's in front of me.
No problem.
For Mike O'Mara, Oscar Santana, and Matt Bloom, it's Rob Spiewak saying so long, everybody. See you next time.
Schmedium!
Now that the show is over, don't forget to get started with a 30-day free trial of eVoice. eVoice gives you a toll-free or local number so you can take business calls from anywhere, and you always sound like you are at the office. Go to MikeO'MaraShow.com and click the eVoice banner for your 30-day free trial. That's our website, MikeO'MaraShow.com, for your 30-day trial when you click on the eVoice banner.
Mike O'Mara, Radio Entertainment.